Bonjour, je m'appelle Faith Jenge, je suis étudiante à TUC et je suis comédienne.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Derito Ashira, je suis étudiant à TUC.
Je m'appelle Cynthia Aouma, je suis étudiante à la TUC, je poursuis télécommunications.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Amos, je suis un membre du club français du TUC et aussi un étudiant à l'Université technique du Kenya.
My first performance was in Mira Mira. It happened on July 2021, this year. Yeah.
I first performed back in high school where I was a prison warden and also a fence. I enjoyed the role since I got to learn a lot. That was my first time performing on stage, and that was my base, my foundation for acting in drama. Yeah.
Isabelle was my first play, so I first performed it at Meru.
My first serious performance was in 2011 when I was in class 5. Yeah, a church play. That was my first ever performance.
I auditioned for this role, Cleopatra, since I was when I got to university back in first year. I heard that there was a French club and they were having a play, and since I was really interested in French, I put myself out there for the role, and I got it, and I loved it.
I saw a post on Instagram and at the school notice board. So since I was interested and passionate about the language, I decided to go and see if I can get a chance. And luckily, I got a chance as a main character, Charles Shomo, and yeah, it was good.
I auditioned for this play because I wanted to challenge myself and try a foreign language role and a main character role after a long period of time. Yeah.
I had that love of performing a French play, of which I had not performed before, so I had to try something new. Yeah.
Yes, there are some similarities that grew up while I was performing. First, the character was a male chauvinist. I'm not saying I'm a chauvinist, but I think if I say something, it should be done. And the character, Charles Shomo, was kind of greedy because he ate the dowry. And of course, if I'm given bulls and cows, I cannot refuse to take them.
Yes, there are a few similarities between Isabelle and Faith because both of them know what they want and both of them are willing to do anything to pursue what they want. Yeah.
Yeah, there is a lot of similarities between me and my character in the play because I believe in real life I'm more funnier than the character. It was limiting my capabilities. Anyway, on the other side, I believe I'm not polygamous, so I'm a Christian, and I don't believe I can marry 7 wives. No, it's not reasonable. I can do that.
There are no similarities. Maybe there are. There are similarities because I wouldn't have taken up the role if we didn't have similarities, but minimal. Like I am queenly in my everyday to-day activities, and in my body, my body, it is that of a queen. Yeah, and I am a queen too.
It's easier for me to be that character than to be myself because of the execution of the role. You know, if I put myself in that role, it's easier for me to deliver it's easier for me to do what is expected of me as Isabelle. Yeah.
On stage, it's kind of easier due to a lot of rehearsals. But in real sense, I know, because we are doing away with the chauvinism, that act, and we are changing the community. That's the aim of the play. So on stage, it's easier, but in real life, I found it very difficult.
It is easier to be myself on stage than to play this character, since the character and I have very different personalities.
Being the character that I was playing in that French play, it was easier because it was a character that I could easily relate with, even on my day-to-day life, because my first role was an old man, and still this one was an old man, so I was fit for that role.
The biggest challenge here was accepting that I was Charles Shomo due to the things he was doing. So it took me a long time to accept that, but after some time, as an artist, you should develop the character in you, and it became easier. Yeah.
The biggest challenge about taking this role was I didn't have chemistry with my husband, the king. It was quite hard to learn the intonations of the words and the sentences, and to also deliver emotions, especially those parts where I am supposed to cry or regret, something of the sort. So those were the challenges I faced.
My biggest challenge while performing and after taking this role, it was hard to understand French, because I'm not well invested in French. It was my first time performing a French play and still being in a French class, so it was hard to capture the lines and leave them, make sure they are on my head the whole of that time, and performing the whole stuff on stage.
The biggest challenge being Isabelle was, it's a French play, and my French isn't really perfect. So most of the time, I had to first work on the translation, understand what I'm really supposed to act, work on the pronunciation, then finally work on the acting. So first understanding the foreign language, getting the right pronunciation, then the acting part wasn't very challenging, but the others, it was a struggle. It was a struggle.
It will be definitely Celine. Celine, okay, I'd choose Celine because it really synchronizes with my personality. Celine in this play gives sarcastic answers. She loves to complain, and she's quite temperamental, and I just love the vibe of it all. So I'd choose Celine.
I will play Bazenga because that guy is funny. It's just naturally funny, because each and every person that has done Bazenga has always been even in rehearsal, is always the best. So if I was given another chance to choose another character, I'd try Bazenga. Yes, Hamo Bazenga.
If I was to play another character, I'll take Celine. Because in this play, Celine was my mom, and I've never actually acted a parental role. So it will be a challenge to myself, and the role of Celine also involves different emotions. So I'll be able to work on the different emotions at the same time build my role. Yeah.
It will be Dalmaso, because I felt the character was enjoyable while being executed because of the age still. I love the elderly roles very much. Yeah, I feel fit for them.
I pray. Yeah, basically I just pray, because rehearsal has been done, everything is there, so you just need God's mercies on stage. Yeah, and favor.
The last thing I do before starting is a small prayer and a sigh of relief. because the first 2 lines are usually very hectic, but after that sigh, it's easier to continue. Yeah, so I pray, then have a sigh of relief, then start execution. Yeah.
Take a deep breath and pray. Try to relax and be cool. It's tough being on stage, so you have to make yourself feel cool on it. Yeah. Okay. So
The last thing I do before I step on stage, I meditate, I do breathing exercises, and I finally pray. Yeah.
I don't really have a favorite line, but I have a favorite scene. Scene 2, my scene with Shomo. Shomo was my dad in that play. So that was my favorite scene. That scene stands out is because there are different emotions in that scene. I start while I'm very happy, the mood changes, I'm a bit sad, and the scene ends while I'm crying. So I love that scene because it shows different sides of me as Isabelle. Yeah, that's why I love that scene. And the person I was with on stage also made it easier, because if you're changing emotions, the person you're working with also needs to change those emotions very fast for the flow to be there. And I can say Shomo did a good work, and that's why that is my favorite scene. Yeah.
My favorite line is when I'm arguing with Isabelle. Quelle heure est-il? D'où viens-tu? Pourquoi? Like, it's just lively. That's why I love it.
My favorite line in the play is "Look, tu te perds," meaning, look, you're lost. This is when he tells Isabelle to get out of the palace, and he does this so harshly that he's not being humane. So yeah, I tell him, "Look, tu te perds. Je suis pas ta mère. I am not your mother." I love that line. I love that line.
there was this line that the Maso had. He could ask, "Kat toho uniform?" No. yeah, he could not accept that. I could pay for. Is it bull? Yeah, for one woman, for one lady. Yeah, for a lady. Yeah.